DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Yebo yes sisinyathela amasimba abantwana basho njalo ngesizulu isikhathi sona sidliwe yinja asikho vele ke sikunje. This is how we start and silala sikhona, sleepy as we are, tired as we are here to make sure that you get the full story. It's just with crazy things happening around, and indeed crazy things, to get to see and put the face of a person who really could have influenced the man
Senzo
to make the decision. And what we are seeing is really worrying, because I mean, that's a person who wrote that. The only thing she can give is allegation.
Yo, it was like watching a train smash.
But well and good. I mean, we cannot say more about that with the time, obviously not on our side.
Can't disagree, lapha. Ha! Can't go into like, what is going on? Because I feel so ashamed, Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah, ashamed as you are. Look, let's hit the ground and run. Yeah, it's unfortunate that all these things are happening all at the same time. And yeah, I mean, you can see what is currently happening in our country. It's unfortunate, and with that coupled with what is happening in that court of Pretoria, and High Court of Pretoria, Senzo Meyiwa, the story is Senzo Meyiwa, but seems as if we are all defending whatever we're defending. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we don't have any much time, unfortunately. 12 vele manje thongobula yonke into ila sizoshaya nje sithi nqampu size siyofika mashinyane emele angidede inkundla ngizongena la ngena khona.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation on what happened at the Senzo Meyiwa trial. I hear Mr. Anonymous is complaining about this time, but unfortunately, it's out of my hands, guys. I'm trying my best, I'm trying my best, but yeah, I'll hopefully pull it together to, try and bring it on at an earlier slot. But it's been difficult. So the court resumed this morning with an awkward, like some would say, silence, and the sound of Advocate Baloyi flipping through the pages, like, flipping through his notes and stuff. And then he asked the court, if they were waiting for him. He said he was waiting for the court to signal for them to start. While Advocate Nisi wanted to address the court regarding the health of Ubaba Zungu, he said that he doesn't think it would be appropriate to talk about that condition in an open court because he only got the message when he was walking into court. So he requested a brief adjournment. They went for that brief adjournment. It didn't take more than 10 minutes. When they returned, Mnisi said that Babu Zungu said he felt a little dizzy yesterday. So he said that he took some water and he's feeling a little bit stronger today. But if circumstances were to come to a point where he feels uncomfortable, he would convey the message through the interpreter. And the judge asked if he doesn't want to buy. And Mnisi said, I think there is a challenge in the specific nature of the medication that is supposed to be bought because she bought pills from home, or he brought pills from home. And there is a packet actually that he left. He left the entire package of those medicine at his home and only took like a portion of the pills for traveling purposes, right? So the judge said, is it a herbal thing? And Mnisi said no, he's actually taking Western medication. He was just a few moments away from asking what kind of a medication is it. He wants to know. Because he said, yeah, no, because we can buy it. And I'm like, Aibo, why? Why do you want to buy medications now? Just let him be. And I don't think he feels comfortable sharing the nitty-gritties of the medication that he's taking. So if he told Advocate this, it's only for the purpose that he can't stand tall or stand there with this box for too long, right? He would like to signal, be given an opportunity to signal when he's not feeling well, to be able to communicate that. So Mnisi said he's not able to say what kind of medication it is because he just took it from a package at home. And then the judge said, Mr. Zungu, when you're not feeling well, you will communicate it. So Baloyi resumed with this cross-examination. Mr. Anonymous, what are your comments? Any comments you'd like to share on the wanting to know of the pills and stuff situation?
No, I don't have. I've got nothing to share.
Baloyi resumed with his cross-examination, and he started by asking Ubaba Zungu yesterday after the court adjourned for the day, did you meet the defense team? Okay. Zungu said no. He said he doesn't know what Advocate Baloyi is referring to meet up with them to do what. And then Baloyi said to consult. Zungu said, we conversed, but we didn't speak much. I don't know. Talking about the case and what is happening, he was asking a question to Advocate Baloyi to provide more clarity as to what he meant. Because I think it would be completely unreasonable for them not to speak at all. Does it mean that when you are a defense, your witnesses have come, you can't speak of things like accommodation or trying to see if they are comfortable? You can't communicate those types of things.
Basically, that's where he wanted to go.
So you should ignore them.
They cannot apparently speak while he's still on stand and being examined by Baloyi.
So they should blue tick him.
In a sense, that's basically what they are expected to do.
So Baloyi said, so did you meet with the defense team? Is that correct? And Zungu said, we didn't meet and sat down and deliberated, like how he was putting it. And then Baloyi said, when you say you were discussing, what do you mean? And Zungu said, on our way, we were discussing this matter, but not that we sat down and deliberated on it. Baloyi then asked, so you did discuss this matter with the defense team. Is that what you're saying? Zungu said, I don't know how to explain this because I'm stating that we had our normal conversations that we usually have. We never sat down. I don't know, maybe if there is anything else that you talked about with the lawyers. And then Baloyi said, so you say you discussed this matter while under cross-examination. Zungu said, yesterday they asked me questions in court. So moving on, Baloyi said, before we adjourned, we were busy with the events of meeting with Brigadier GININDA and a female officer at Newcastle Police Station. You said this meeting took place in 2023. Ubaba Zungu asked to not include the white lady because she was just sitting there. The conversation happened between him and Brigadier GININDA, and that conversation, according to him, did not even last 20 minutes. 20 minutes was too much. Bab Zungu said that there was a difference between a meetup and a meeting, but he did confirm that it was in 2023. Baloyi then asked, was it mid or late 2023? And Zungu said, I can't remember. It's not something we recorded or wrote down. Baloyi then said, you said the meeting didn't take long, 20 to 30 minutes. And Zungu said less or more. And Baloyi asked him, in your evidence in chief, you said it was that Brigadier Bongani GININDA and the white lady and GININDA apologized for how he took you and said you must testify for him. Zungu said yes, he apologized for the way he took me and said he will take me abroad. And then I said, let's go inside the Newcastle police station and you say what you want. Just said inside the police station. He said he just wanted to gather more evidence when he mentioned him taking him abroad. He started talking about taking him out of the country and stuff. And he's the one who had planned this whole thing, according to Babu Zungu. And he said he did not plan anything. Babu Zungu said in his person, he did not plan anything. So Baloyi then asked him, did he say you must come testify for him? Zungu said he mentioned it. And Baloyi said, according to your version, you had not made any statement up to that point. And Zungu said, there's nothing I agreed with. GININDA, he said there's nothing he agreed with GININDA. He just wanted to tell the truth, that he came and told me a lot of things. If we agreed, he must take out the document that shows where I signed, that is where we came to an agreement. So Baloyi then asked him, but Babu Zungu, the question is this. If you had not made any statement up to that point, how could he have asked you to testify for him? And Zungu said he knows what he planned. He could not come here and bring the statement issue. Where did he take this statement and where? So Baloyi then asked him, so your version is that that he came and asked you to testify without you having made any statement. Is it your version? And Zungu said he never said that I should come to court and give a statement. So yes, another thing that just dawned on me is how, when I'm listening now, it's kind of difficult to interpret what Babu Zungu said. And then I listen to the interpreter sometimes and I'm like, I'm not sure if that is what was being said. I would put it like this, you know. So I always try my best to put it in the closest context to what he's saying, because I feel like even with the interpreter, they are struggling a bit because they end up saying something that is... Am I wrong, Mr. Anonymous?
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
So that's why it takes long to go through the evidence of Babu Zungu, because I don't want to take him out of context. Yabo. So Baloyi said, but Mr. Zungu, we are just trying to understand that Brigadier GININDA did ask you to come and testify for him without you having made a statement. And Babu Zungu said, I explained. I'm not going to contradict. I said GININDA said to me that he was going to take me abroad. Where is the statement that he wrote? Even if he said I was not going to agree because he did not give me a letter. Okay. Then the interpreter had a moment there where she was asking for confirmation to see if she got proper context of what Babu Zungu was saying. And then Zungu responded by saying that even with the criminality acts that were done by Brigadier GININDA, he said, I did not call him. Even before, how did he come to me? Right? How did they find me? Is the question that he had. So Baloyi then said, what do you mean? Zungu said, I was doing my work. He's the one who came with my son and their criminal ways, and they brought them to me. And now I must be a shield that protects them. I did say I never made a statement to GININDA. He came with my son while I was at work and came with their criminality. Now they want to hide their criminality behind me. I chuckled. Yo. He's not mincing any words, okay? He's not mincing anything. He's direct. He's stating it how he feels. And I was like, yeah. So, Advocate Baloyi asked him, so we can leave this point, Babu Zungu, with the understanding that Brigadier Gininda asked you to testify, notwithstanding that according to you, you have not made any statement. Zungu said he has never said that I should come and testify, and I don't know what it is that he wanted me to testify about. That is why our conversation did not even take long. When I said to him we should get inside and write down what he is saying to me, he then asked to leave. So he was having this conversation with Ubab Zungu outside the police station about going. That is according to Ubab ABSALOM Zungu. He's saying that he was having this conversation about him moving out of the country. And then as soon as they entered the police station, he stopped talking about it. Isn't that suspicious? And then they expected ABSALOM Zungu to trust them after that. I was very suspicious. Well, then Baloyi then said, Babu Zungu, we're trying to understand your evidence. One moment you say he asked you to come and testify for him, but you've just now said that he did not ask you to come and testify. Zungu said, what is it that he said I must come and testify about? Because I said he talked about me being taken abroad. That's when I distanced myself, when he told me that there is evidence I needed to testify to. If there was any evidence from the beginning, he was supposed to take the evidence and then ask me to come and testify. He cannot give evidence and then call me after. Which he was speaking in the context of Brigadier Gininda went on the stand, testified, and finished, right? Without calling him.
Yeah.
So he cannot now come, testify, finish, and then he's called after, you know. Weird things are happening in that courtroom. Weird stuff. So Baloyi then asked him, did you express concern regarding your personal safety to him? And Zungu said, there's no one who doesn't know safety. You can't tell me about that there's nobody who does not understand safety in South Africa. If he knew about safety, he was going to make sure I was safe from the very beginning so that he doesn't put me in conflict with the nation if he knew safety. So in other words, he did not trust Brigadier Gininda with his safety, considering how he approached him from the beginning. He was also not going to use his name without making sure that he's safe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So Baloyi repeated the question and Zungu said that he didn't. And Baloyi said, you said he asked you if you are afraid of being guarded, and you said you are against that. Zungu said, I don't remember that because I don't have guards. Baloyi then said, but that was your evidence in chief. And Zungu said, those are my own guards. I'm saying I don't have any bodyguards. Well, then Baloyi said, so you did discuss the issue of your personal safety with Gininda? Zungu said, no. Okay. And also I felt some type of way here because I felt like Advocate Baloyi's questions were not direct. You know, he wasn't asking direct questions. Simple, straightforward questions, especially to a man like ABSALOM Zungu, can go a long way. Manje, these embedded, layered questions, it's almost like they're designed to trap someone who's lying, you know. And he keeps hitting a brick wall with ABSALOM Zungu with this strategy. And I saw a lot of people online saying, you know what, this strategy that he's using is not going to work because it doesn't work with people that are telling the truth.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I was like, these questions are not simple. They're just layered with a lot of things. It's almost like to create confusion. You know, it's simple questions will do. You know, they will do. I don't understand why he has to layer them with so many things if he wants a direct answer, or unless if he doesn't want a direct answer. I don't know. Maybe he wants confusion, and confusion is what he's getting from ABSALOM Zungu currently. It's Githula mabota, tibang. He's not going anywhere. His cross-examination doesn't have direction. We are going nowhere very slowly. So I'm seeing that this is gonna be the MO with defense witnesses, where he just plans on cross-examining them for weeks on end. Weeks and weeks and weeks. Even now, after ABSALOM Zungu just disclosed his illness, I don't think that he will have pity or mercy or anything like that. He will just want to go round about, going nowhere slowly, and just put him on that stand for as long as possible. That's the energy and vibe I'm already feeling. Well, Baloyi eventually reminded him of his testimony in his evidence in chief, that Brigadier GININDA inquired for him that he's afraid of being guarded. And your response was that you are against being guarded. Well, Zungu said, no, I did not agree to that. And why is it that he wants to give me guards? Guards for what? Can you please not write what I did not say? I talked about this thing of being guarded here. This is what made me fight with GININDA. And I told him to meet me at the parking of the police station. So Baloyi then asked him, so Babu Zungu, you did discuss the issue of your personal safety? And Babu Zungu said no. Here's what's happening here, or at least my feeling and my sentiments of this whole thing. So Advocate Baloyi is trying to create an impression that Zungu's life was in danger before GININDA even offered him these guards, while GININDA was just presenting the guards as some type of an incentive of him testifying on behalf of the states as a Kumalo. Right? So Advocate Baloyi is now creating this impression that ABSALOM Zungu's life was in danger before Brigadier GININDA offered him guards, which is not quite the case.
Yeah, it's an incentive that was supposed to motivate Zungu to want to go to the stand and lie.
Yes, it sounded glamorous, like I'm gonna
because,
live VIP
that
life.
story is not flying. A man is still sitting at home with the very same people as neighbors and all that.
Yes,
so it doesn't make sense what the Baloyi is trying to do.
He's trying to portray this element of danger, that all these witnesses' lives are in danger. It's been 5 years, right? Even more than 5 years. One would say a good 8-7 years. He's still living in that community. He's still going about his day and his work.
No house officers burnt, nothing. No one was killed. Because they are relatives, these people.
And from hearing him testify, you can feel the sense that he's more afraid of the police than he is of, or not even the police in general, but the investigative team of this case than he is of everyone else.
Yes.
In my opinion. So Baloyi then said you testified that he inquired from you if he can take you places outside of the country. And Zungu said, I'm not a child for him to tell me to move to other countries. I told him that I have built my homes here, and I told him not to tell me those things. I'm not going anywhere. So Baloyi then said, did he discuss the various options to you for your safety? And Zungu said, I was not going to agree because I was not controlled by GININDA. This is what agitated me, because GININDA was now treating me like a child, saying I must just go stay abroad. He has a farm and he is working. Even if he approached me with a document from the government, I was never going to agree. So here we are getting little pieces and nuggets of information that it seems, or allegedly, Brigadier GININDA has a farm in a country outside of South Africa.
Which would be very, very concerning for a policeman.
Which is interesting. He said that even if he approached me with a document from the government, I was never going to agree because I'm not being controlled by GININDA. Does he even know how I live to take me outside of the country? Yeah, it seems like even the lifestyle that Ubaba Zungu perhaps has was not even considered, It's like he just came with this thing to him and he found it offensive according to him. This is his version, remember that, okay? He just found it, offensive that someone just comes and instructs him, you're going to go outside of the country, I'm going to provide you with guards. It wasn't a conversation.
Very hard for dispositioning a Zulu man who's got his family on indawo yakubo namnemndeni yakubo. How do you start doing that?
It was not a conversation. It feels more like he was telling him what to do. And that honestly pissed him off. It did. It pissed him off. So Baloyi then said, why would he discuss your protection if he didn't make a statement? So Advocate Baloyi is choosing to interpret this as protection. Protection from what?
Even if it was protection being discussed, does it matter? Because people can tell you, so what does it change? Some questions are very stupid for me. Honestly, they don't make sense. I mean, for someone who's a seasoned lawyer asking such questions and taking that direction,
advocate
it is
of
just
the High Court for maybe I would say an estimation of 30 years. Yo. So Zungu said, is there anything you can discuss with someone approaching you with acts of criminality? And then I remember that phrase that Umkwanazi said, there can never be what? Peace between a law officer and a police and a criminal. Yes. Young figure, like when he said that, it just came to my mind. Well, Baloyi said that, did Brigadier GININDA tell you that your statement was disclosed to the defense? Zungu said no, he never told me anything with regards to that. And Baloyi showed Ubaba Zungu a typed statement and said his name, ID number, the address, cell phone number, and place of employment had been omitted on that statement. That is said to have been ABSALOM Zungu's statement that was initially disclosed to the defense. It did not have his details on it. Well, Zungu asked if that is a sound statement, if it had no name. Baloyi said it is a format of a disclosure when a disclosure of the docket was made to the defense. Zungu asked who made that statement, and he said that is when you started with these criminal acts against me by placing a statement with no owner. Hi, Advocate Baloyi. Hi, gag. Hi, Valempal. Ivale, find a creative way because this is not gonna end well. The longer you keep that man on that stand, I am bone guard. Well, Zungu said, but did Brigadier GININDA during your meeting explain to you that your statement has been disclosed to the defense, but without your personal details? Zungu said, why wasn't my information placed well? But I then said, for your own personal safety. Zungu said, how did GININDA place a name on that other statement of safety and not be able to place my name on this one? Are you protecting him?
Let's press the like button, guys, please.
Hi. But I said, you see the contents are exactly the same. The only thing that was left out is the name of the deponent, the address, and the contact details. Zungu said something like this is what we're talking about when we're talking about corruption. How can you bring someone to the High Court and say it was written by me, yet it is incomplete, and you are asking them to comment on it? And the way the defense, it was Advocate Nis later on, where he addressed this thing, that the defense did not just pick up this statement from thin air. You understand? It was brought by the state. They are the ones who put it in the docket, right? And now, once the defense picks it up and they are cross-examining Brigadier GININDA to try and understand how he came to the conclusion that those people standing on the matter are the ones that killed Senzo. Now, Baloyi is using it like a, I don't know, like I don't understand. He's making it seem like the defense are the ones who brought this statement of ABSALOM Zungu, while the state is the one who brought it. So Baloyi then said there is also a list of witnesses that accompanied the indictment in this matter. This forms part of the record. It says the names of some of the witnesses have been withheld for security reasons. Your names are among the names that have been omitted for security reasons. Zungu said, where you are saying that my name was not entered, as it seems people are being protected. Baloyi said on the list of witnesses that had made statements. Zungu said, how different am I since I was not called in this court? Which is a good question. It's a very good question. But he's not going to get an answer, unfortunately. Baloyi then said, yes, it was for security reasons. And Zungu said, I do not agree. When you talk about safety, because my name was mentioned here, that is why I came here. I'm shocked to hear that the court has people that it protects. But my name is mentioned in this court the entire time.
It just doesn't make sense to say you omitted the names of a person from his so-called statement, but you mentioned the person through other witnesses. That's basically what Babu Zungu was saying.
He said there's someone who said maybe it's not allowed for me to mention that person in this court, that the name being mentioned is dragging my name in the mud. But now I'm shocked to hear that others are protected with their statements. Baloyi then said, in that meeting with GININDA at Newcastle Police Station, did GININDA explain the witness protection program? Zungu said, no, we never had that discussion. There was no mention, according to Babu Zungu, of witness protection program. They just presented to him these things that sounded nice of having bodyguards. But unfortunately, not everyone wants to live that life, eh? Not everybody.
It's not a nice life.
Of being guarded. Baloyi then said, but you said he was saying he can take you outside the country. Was not that in the context of witness protection program? Zungu said, I said even before that, GININDA mentioned my name here. Why would he now come and discuss safety after he has already done the damage? Yet he has shouted my name. What does it say to you that GININDA has been shouting all this time my name in this court? Someone even mentioned that, you can't see that you are putting someone's life in danger. Zungu said he could remember the person's name who actually stated this, and they are of a higher rank. Because can you imagine? They are claiming that they were wanting to protect Babu ABSALOM Zungu. But as soon as they do not get what they want from him, or allegedly what they wanted, maybe him to come and testify to, now they keep bringing up his name in that court. They bring it up without calling him. Now, what is that? Knowing very well that he doesn't have the protection that you claim he was in danger and needed.
Sibonga ukuthi Babu Zungu is from KZN for starters, and he never liked Joburg, so it seems. Because anything, in my opinion, could have happened.
Yes.
for this case.
Yes.
And then obviously the people to blame were gonna be the people who are on the stand. So finally the day came and he's still in one piece. He's fine.
Osbi and Nontanzi were arrested in Gauteng. Look at what if.
So because it seems as if someone could have done something sinister and then they come back and say, yeah, there you go. These are criminals. They are now killing witnesses. Because that's how it seems as if Sbia was positioned in a sense.
As
To
a
be
very
put in a
dangerous
position
hitman.
of being exposed. So anyone could have had their fair chance because he doesn't have any protection indeed. It's just a normal man who wakes up and do his job wherever he is. I don't know whether he's still working right now. I'm sure he's not working anymore.
No, he's not.
So anything could have happened, but because of, I think, access to such places, then maybe God protected him because of that.
And to even think that the first time that they approached him and then he said they took him to this place he didn't know. I think part of the reason what also slowed down the process was he was in a different province. Had he been in Gauteng, I don't think the ending would have ended like that from what I'm seeing.
Yes. We'll be counting with the people that have since passed away from this case, and we don't know, maybe God, maybe nature or whatsoever that remembers them. But yeah, I mean, people from Gauteng, a lot of them have obviously passed away one way or another.
Well, Zungu said, in everything you mentioned with regards to GININDA to me, together with my son, they abused me. I don't know what to say because everything you are saying, I've said it before. And I'd never called anyone where I'm working. GININDA must explain that from Pretoria to where I work, to arrive at my work and disturb me at my job.
That position that Babu Zungu is taking, very good. It's very good because what he's saying is that I do not interact with these people. But GININDA, for some reason, was led to me.
To find me.
And if you ask me how then did GININDA know 1, 2, 3 from the statements, why do you think that I'm the only one who probably could have known this? Because then who led GININDA to me? Because they are saying there was nothing before ABSALOM Zungu started talking, as they say, allegedly. There was nothing. So who led people to Babu Zungu? And what can stop that person from feathering and talking further and writing, giving them something to write? What can stop those people from doing that? Because Babu Zungu, 2014, he was not in Vosloorus, not in the proximity of where Senzo was killed. So the question that is being asked, I don't understand what is the direction. Maybe this is how it worked for him to actually get on with the trial, in a trial of the two accused about the alleged confession. Now he's thinking that that's a way to go, which is nothing like what was done with that trial, within a trial, which in my opinion was not supposed to be accepted.
And now I'm picking up the defense mode, defending GININDA, defending. So Baloyi then said, we put it to you, Bab Zungu, that the reason you say Brigadier GININDA wanted to take you out of the country is because you made a statement and various options to safeguard you were discussed on your own version. Zungu said, my lord, there is a saying in Zulu, ithini? Yaziyela.
We're still hammering on that and saying that if I was the one who had the intentions of making a so-called statements, I was going to be the one who moved all the way from where I stay to GININDA. But because GININDA came to me, it's the other way around.
Well,
I was fetched to come
he was fetched.
and talk about certain things.
Which is translated to the one who wants information is the one who seeks it. So GININDA is mentioning a statement. He said, would I leave my home as poor as I am and come here, meaning Pretoria? He was supposed to come where I was and there at a nearby police station to come and obtain the statement. What would it be that would have bothered me with GININDA's statement? GININDA would live here with the court's permission, that a person who wants a statement should not go and be where that person is with the approval of the court. I mean, if he has a subpoena, he can go and give it to him and say, I want your side of the story. But it seems this unit does not work like that, eh? They are not fond of taking statements prior, following due process. It's not being picked up anywhere with any of these people that they claim have committed the crime. It's not picking up anywhere. The only maybe person who's gotten 5-star treatment is Constable Caesar Zungu. Hi. But I then said your statement was taken down, but we can now look at the statement itself. Zungu said, if a person wants a statement, that person comes to you. Not for me to leave where I was and come all the way here at his house. No way, because it was his home. And now another gem is also like being dropped here. A hint, a wink wink, that place that he says they took him to could have possibly maybe even been his house. And he's taking people in his houses. He's talking about farms across countries. And on top of that, why are he's making people go and take statements at houses and stuff? Why isn't he taking people to police station?
What I'm happy about that this man, as much as he's a lay person when it comes to law, I think he's aware. When Baloyi was trying to lead him to explain the place that could have been the place where he signed, he quickly distanced himself from that. I doubt he does not remember the place as such in terms of trying to explain it. But Baloyi kept on pushing this assertion that it was a building, a double-story building and all that. And he distanced himself from that. He didn't want to give any feeding to what Baloyi wants to give the
Portray
court.
it
And
as.
because what he wants, Baloyi, is for him to affirm that it's Pretoria, number 2,
Maubanaga.
it's the building Maubanaga. So he literally
And Maubanaga
diffused-
doesn't look like a house.
he literally diffused that theory because now it is only said by Baloyi.
Maubanaga doesn't look like a house. It's an actual building. I'm sure you would have described it like that. In the city of Pretoria. Okay, it doesn't look anything like a house. It looks like a building. So he said, I don't think it's okay to protect GININDA on the statement. He would have come to me. If not, he was supposed to take me to a police station and make a statement there. And that statement has stamps, He said, if I ask as the statement stands, what number am I? Who takes statements in wrong places? Because it shows that this statement was done at a wrong place. Just as this case is wrong, it's because of that. Well, the judge said, sorry. You are refusing to identify the statement or look at it. It's your right if you want to do that. The court will make a note. Okay. Well, Baloyi said he received a request for a comfort break. That was the advocate Baloyi. He said that he received a request for a comfort break for the witness. And then it was time for the short adjournment, but I felt like it was getting hot. Big shisa. Well, Baloyi said, where would Brigadier Gininda have obtained all these details? Your cell phone number, name, date of birth, if you did not depose this affidavit? Well, Zungu said, with whom was he doing all this? Was he not with my son?
Exactly. That's where Zungu's point have been pointing to say that don't say I only knew about these things if I knew anything. This is the man who went on further later when I refused to go and testify as a person who was with these accused in 2014. That he emphasized in 2014.
Yes. So Baloyi asked Zungu if his son was taken to a separate room when Gininda was making the statement. Zungu said he did not know where he was placed. He did not know of any room. Nisi said that was not the evidence that was before the court. There's no evidence that came from this witness of this nature. The judge said he said so and asked Baloyi to read the record, but Baloyi said it was according to his notes. They have not received the record yet. They said it takes something like 4 days, right? So probably they haven't gotten to ABSALOM Zungu's testimony yet. So the judge asked if the stenographer can place it. Then the stenographer said he doesn't have a speaker. Well, the judge said he recalls that evidence, and Nisi then said that the state is correct when they said that he would come in and go out because Baloyi had read his notes. There's a part where he said Bab Zungu said they would go in and come out, and then he added a room. There was a room that Constable Sizwe Zungu would go to, while ABSALOM Zungu said no. From where we were sitting, Constable Zungu would go in and out. He said not to say that he was taken to a separate room. Well, the judge said it was fine. Well, Baloyi said was Constable Zungu in the room when Gininda was interviewing you, and Ubab Zungu said he thinks he was there. And Baloyi said, was Constable Zungu taken out at any time during the interview? And Zungu said he would not know. Now, this is where I also got dizzy. I'm like, okay. Well, Baloyi said in Exhibit UU, Zungu's statement, it says, indeed, the police were met, and I deposed the statement to Gininda, who was with Sergeant Mohani. So according to the statement, Mohani was there. And Zungu said, I don't know that person, and nobody introduced them to me. So Baloyi then said, you said there were 5, and you were the 6th. You previously said they took your son out, and there was a time Gininda would go out and speak to him and come back. Zungu said they were going in and out. And
consistently with what he said, at some point he said Gininda would go out and talk to his son.
Yes.
Upon that, that was evidence in chief, I think.
And then he would come back. His son would also go in and go back to wherever he was. So it was movement all through and through while he was just sitting there, probably scared for his life. Baloyi then said, did you not just say Constable Zungu was present the whole time in the same room with you? And Zungu said, can you stop a person from coming in and out of this courtroom? Do you know where they are going? I was also not in the state of mind to search those things because I knew my situation in that court or in the court. So Baloyi said, you said 5 people there said you must state the names of the people before this court, and they asked you if you knew Muzi and Tanzi and how. Zungu said he was asking me if I knew them. He was the one making mention of their names. Baloyi then said, who of the 5 people asked you if you know Muzi and Tanzi? Zungu said, I told you they mentioned Muzi's name before even before he even got arrested. He said, I don't know who they are. Well, Baloyi said, Babu Zungu, did you say anything in that interview? Zungu said, I did not narrate anything. Zungu said that they kept saying to him that if he continues with his behavior, Bebeti, he will see. That uzobona makuqhubeka ngalento le yakho. Uzobona. So it was more of a threat because he said he was fearing for his life. That was the only thing that was on his mind at the time. Firstly, when they were speaking of these young men, he said they showed him pictures on phones and asked if he knows them. And he said, I'm not the one who gave out the information. They are the ones with phones. They opened their phones and showed me a picture and asked me if I know this person. They knew these people. So what Ubabu ABSALOM Zungu here is trying to say that even before they came and approached him, they already knew who they wanted to arrest.
Consistent with what Muzi also said, that already when they came to him, they came with that information already ready. And they said they got that information from Uzu. That here today is denouncing. We will deliberate further from the submissions that we had today. We will get there. Let's press the like button, however, because that's what also motivates. We are 400 people, 180 likes. Let us put it halfway, at least for now.
But I then asked him, who showed you a picture on the phone? And Zungu said, I explained in the past days that Brigadier GININDA, in the same breath that GININDA is stating in his statement, it is not Brigadier GININDA who said in the statement that a photo, a picture was to be attached. Where did he get that photo from? Then Baloyi asked him, did they show you a photo? And Ubaba Zungu said, they showed me where I stayed. It was shown to me by my son. He was saying that the photo that he saw was at his place of residence with his son. So they followed me with that photo as Brigadier GININDA was referring to it in court. Was he given that photo by me or by my son? Because it was on my son's phone, as he claims it in his statement. Where is it? Well, Baloyi then said, what are you trying to establish? Or what we are trying to establish is in that room, were you shown that photo? And Ubaba Zungu said, no, I never said that. I said it was shown to me where I stay. I reprimanded him a lot about this photo. I said he should leave it. It will put him in a lot of trouble. You are now making reference to this photo that Brigadier GININDA said it would be an attachment on the statement, but it is not here, right? So this photo is not in the so-called...
It's a mystery photo. It's a theory created for the completeness of these mysterious statements. It's there. It has been created in the mind of a court, but it does not exist.
Well, Baloyi said, was there a discussion about the photo with Brigadier GININDA? Ubaba Zungu said, no, I never heard anyone mentioning the photo, but I can't remember other things. No one asked me about that photo. It was shown to me in my place of residence. Baloyi asked him, you said there was a follow-up regarding the photo. When was the follow-up? And Ubaba Zungu said, I never spoke of this photo again. I last saw this photo on the phone of my son, and I only reprimanded my son, saying that this would get him into a lot of trouble. If GININDA said he got the photo, he must say he got the photo from him, and he must come and state that he got the photo from him. Then Baloyi asked him if the version that they came from 5 people in the room, or the version that was written on the statement came from the 5 people that were in that room. Zungu said he might as well ask them as to where they got all of that information on that statement. Ubaba Zungu said that GININDA was writing down. He knew what he was writing down. He would leave Pretoria and go all the way to KZN without knowing all of this or what he was looking for. There were many lounges that were spoken, but at times he said languages, my apologies, there were many languages that were spoken, but most of the time isiZulu was the language that was being used to communicate amongst them. Ubaba Zungu. So Baloyi said, was there a time when Brigadier GININDA asked you to sign a statement? Zungu said, I said that I was not going to touch any of the things I told them. I don't remember if he told me to sign. My mind was just not there. If I refuse to sign, then I refuse to sign. Baloyi then said, after the interview, did Brigadier GININDA ask you to sign the statement and then you refused to sign it? Is that what you're saying? Baba Zungu said, I never had an interview with GININDA. They were just fighting with me.
That's exactly how you deal with it. Take him back to school, because he's now assuming that there is this interview. He's basically approving this so-called interview as the interview that happened. Then now you want to say, maybe you refused to sign or whatsoever. Maybe you decided to sign something or not exactly your signature. That's what he's trying to do. But Babu Zungu is going back saying, I never had that. Very important.
He said they were saying things to me and even taking me to places I did not know. While Baloyi said he was talking about the events of what happened at a room in Pretoria. You know, remember that Uzungu.
Again, the assumption that the room is in Pretoria.
It's in Pretoria.
That has not been affirmed by the person on the box.
Yes.
But it is being asked like that.
Well,
and when you do that with him, he tells you that has not been the case. Remember when he stood up and said, there's an assumption that the signatures are not the same, even though it is obvious that they are not the same. But yeah, he expects it to be let go like that, and he continues the way he wants to, creating his own record.
Well, Baloyi, as Zungu, are you saying that this is the product of what the 5 people were telling Brigadier GININDA? Zungu said that they wrote with him. He was the one writing, but he was the one doing all of this. So Zungu said his question still stands as to where they were taking him, because there is no proof to this day of the things that were done in the presence of the police at a police station. Zungu asked the court that as they observe, do they think it's appropriate to obtain a statement in the streets and bring it to court? Government has its departments where anyone has to go and do the right thing, you know, the legal thing. But he can see here that something illegal was done. Ubaba Zungu made an example of a person who is in labor and then call for help from the state is being called, and then a police van arrives
instead of an ambulance
to go take this woman who's in labor to a police station. He said you could catch a case for doing something like that, for taking this person to a wrong place.
More so if something wrong could happen.
How can this court accept such things as evidence before this court? Hey, I saw Umuzi no Ntanzi there at the back chuck. When he made this example, I'm like, yo, I'm sure they are feeling that, hey. Yo, these 5 years have been something. Yo.
Let's press the like button, guys. I still press the button.
Ubaba Zungu maybe is helping them feel a bit of relief.
Yeah.
So Baloyi then said, where does all this information in Exhibit UU come from? Well, Zungu said, I don't know. And the manner in which it was written, I don't know. Then Baloyi asked, in the statement, it says 2017, I met Mbekiseni Ntanzi, who is my relative from the homelands in KwaNongoma. And Zungu said, I never said any of this. Baloyi said, you said you know Mbekiseni, he was staying with you in Emelo and he is your relative. Zungu said, I know him. And Baloyi said, but it's a fact, you know Mbekiseni. So what is written here is correct and he's your relative. And Zungu said, I know this. Baloyi then said, where would those 5 people in the room obtain that information? And Zungu said, the person that I said he must fetch, was he not there? Referring to his son. Zungu said he did not know about any fight between Tanzi and his brothers. So Baloyi then said, how would this information find its way in the affidavit if you did not say it? Well, Zungu said it was not coming from me. It was coming from them. Is there any one of the people that you are mentioning not knowing about Mbekiseni's issue? And Baloyi said, even the indictment refers to accused number 2 as Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi. So someone who uses Mafika must be someone that knows him very well. And Zungu said, I do not...
Can you imagine the stupidity of all? This is an old man. Amagama ensizwa ngoba Mafika igama lomsizwa lokugida ingoma. This man would not know such names.
He wouldn't.
Mostly he would know ukuthi umfana kabani lona noma umfana kamzala lona.
Yeah.
Umfana kamzala lona. Mhlambe he would know the name, the original name.
That he was given at birth.
But that's it. That's how far it can go. But to say that because he was called Mafika, the logic, you know, when you create a story, you need to understand the culture of how things go in many provinces. You can't expect that to be a general thing. It might have worked with the accused among themselves, but it's not going to fly with an old man. As he says, I don't know these kids.
He said, I do not support that. These are kids. I reference them differently. I don't know their full names. And then Baloyi said, where would this information have emanated from if it isn't from you? Well, Ubaba Zungu said they know. And how were they able to take me to end up with GININDA? How did he know me? Where did he know me from? Now he's writing
blame
things
on his son's door. Okay.
Now he's writing things in my name. Where did he know from me? Because I have never met him before.
And not a policeman either.
Brigadier GININDA said he testified that up until your statement, they did not know about accused 1 and 2. That's Baloyi asking him. And Zungu said this is where the lies begin. They start like this. How? When he works with Constable Zungu. How was GININDA not going to know of this? If he were to tell the truth, who pointed at all the accused? If GININDA is saying he did not know anything, who pointed at the accused? Then Baloyi said a long time had passed before taking Zungu's statement. Zungu said, I am saying that he stays with him. He was forever with Constable Zungu. And Constable Zungu says that he was there when Senzo died. How did he take it from me? He says, I think there's a lot that we are going to expose here. Baloyi said Zungu's statement was done in the 31st of May 2023, and Zungu said, that's a lies. He said, I do not want those lies.
From Zungu's got a point here. His son claims that he was there.
2014.
And how did GININDA say he got to know about the presence of the son?
He said the son is the one who came to him first with that whole meeting with General Shabani and don't you remember that part of evidence?
He said the son came to him and said he suspected these people.
He said that he had information on Senzo Meyiwa's case.
Through his father. He was
coming with General Shabani.
Through his father. Then how did they get to know that the son was there? GININDA said it's through investigation.
He says it's through investigation, but you can clearly see it's because
Babu Zungu was probably refusing to come and testify.
So they had to now make the son the main witness. And in making him the witness, because he cannot use triple hearsay coming from his father who heard it from Bekiseni, now they
were going to use it. The only obstacle, I think, was the refusal of this man to come through.
But the Zungu couldn't just rock up with just saying that my father said he heard from Bekiseni that Danzi and Sbia committed this crime. It needed to have more, thus placing himself there at
No.
hostel.
I think you are reading it wrong.
Okay.
Zungu probably came with that idea of the father. Hence, maybe promised, I'm going to get my father to come and testify.
Okay.
GININDA says he gave this man time to actually go and persuade the father to come. But he saw that was not forthcoming. That marked that down.
Okay.
So the statement of this man comes in later when the ABSALOM issue seems as if it's not going to succeed. He's not coming to party. I'm telling you, Zungu was going to come. Whether it's triple hearsay, it was going to be in that court if Zungu agreed to this thing. But they were disturbed by Zungu refusing to come. Then a new plan needed to be made without eliminating the statement of Zungu, however, because I think the docket was far down the line. Docket was far, and remember the involvement of Boma Kubo, which made things difficult to actually remove some of the statement as you go along, in my opinion. That's my observation. Then Zungu had to come in with something special, which is now him being among these people. And obviously he probably, as the father says, it could be the one who narrated the story of the father also. Then they had to create something special, something new that includes Zungu, to actually have something to lean on. But here is the problem. Now the statement of Zungu comes after this. Everyone has been arrested, but the cause of the arrest is attributed to Babu Zungu. That's why they couldn't take out the so-called triple hearsay statement, because they needed to have those roots of where this started. In my opinion, that's in a nutshell my summary.
Okay, thank you. So, Babu Zungu was very upset. Okay, then Baloyi said the problem with your version is that the defense themselves introduced Exhibit Triple U and cross-examined Brigadier GININDA on it. Now you come and distance yourself from your version on Exhibit Triple U. And Zungu said, yes, I'm distancing myself from anything that was done by GININDA. Baloyi said, and this version was never put to Brigadier GININDA. Nisi objected to this. He said laws relating to evidence are very specific. A witness that has been called on behalf of a party does not have a version. It testifies to state witnesses. A version that can only be put is what accused persons are saying. That's a version. A witness does not have an obligation to put a version. He can only come and testify. Mr. Zungu here has come to testify as a witness. A witness does not have a version, which is why it's said that an accused person in a trial does not have the duty to prove his case being a reasonable doubt or beyond reasonable doubt. He only has to go present a version which in the mind of a fair-thinking judge.
That was a jab.
Is reasonably possibly true. There's nothing in the Criminal Procedure Act, in all the legal authorities that I have read, that demand that a witness that has come to testify on behalf of a party, the version of that witness must then be put to the witness of the other litigants. Remember, Mr. Zungu has been touted as a state witness. And he said we could therefore not have had the opportunity to consult with him and hear what his side of the story is. He said we only had that opportunity after the state had closed its case and they decided not to call them for whatever nefarious reason. And it was only after our consultation with Mr. Zungu wherein we realized that Mr. Zungu will be important for that just outcome of this case. With that reasoning alone, how would the state have expected us to put a version to Mr. GININDA of what Mr. Zungu is saying?
Yes, very
when
correct.
He never had an opportunity to consult with him.
Yes, and then too, because he was never there in any case. To put that theory, you needed this man to have been there. Now you excluded him. It's like if the defense was to bring Kelly, and then you say they never put that question to GININDA about Kelly. It's after this man narrated the story that you realize that you could have put this question, but it's gone.
It's gone.
He's the one who was saying it in court, Baloyi. It's all gone there. That horse has sailed, yes.
But beyond that, a version can only come from an accused person that gets placed on the state witnesses, not a witness who testifies. That is his testimony, rather, the state says. But that testimony was put to Mr. GININDA. He said he'd understand, but not a version. A version can only come from an accused person. So Baloyi turned to Zungu and said the essence of the state's question is that your affidavit was introduced by the defense team, but you are now coming and denying the very same affidavit. Mnisi objected again and said, remember, Mr. Zungu has never been a defense witness. This information that comes up here is information that was unearthed by the state themselves. It is therefore the state who realized that by putting Mr. Zungu on the box as their own witness, they'd be shooting themselves on the foot. They then decided that no, let's leave Mr. Zungu. We'll see what the defense can do. This does not come from us. It comes from the investigation that was instituted by the state themselves.
Now, notice how we are starting to create an adverse or a hostile witness in the mind of the defense. So if you are a defense and you would probably start thinking otherwise.
Yes.
Look at how Baloyi is putting the ball in the court of defense, as if they never had this person on their list, as if they are not the one to unearth this statement and put it in front of them.
Yes.
Notice how this is done.
Monkey tricks,
as Tifo was saying, and you'll see later on how the judge becomes baited and he plays around, if anything, if he was ever baited, or if it could be a good teamwork. I don't know.
So
Let's
then
press the
Mr.
like
Zungu
button.
will have said things that he is saying they should put the blame on the defense. Baloyi said they leave it for argument. And then Zungu said, even if this matter moves forward, there will be those who ask. He even said, I'm not scared. Angsami. Zungu asked why the prosecutor accepted that suspicious statement. Why did the prosecutor not call the owner of the statement to come and testify? The judge asked Baloyi for the time. He asked him, what time is it? And Baloyi said that they still had 20 minutes. Yo! Well, the judge said, I don't know what to make of this charade. You'll have to address me on that, because we have another lawyer this side, pointing to Ubab Zungu, who is actually educating the court and the prosecutor and everybody about what the law says and the law, what the law should do. You'll have to address me on that, because then Mnisi voluntarily got up and asked where. Then him and the judge agreed that it will be at the end of the trial, right?
Now, do you see the seed has been planted fully and the tree is about to show up? Just after Baloyi has said that the defense is the one that brought this witness and this witness is denouncing the statement, that Baloyi at some point was itching for Mnisi to actually go through the statements, the so-called statement
Yes.
that GININDA had, or that was allegedly made by Ubabu Zungu that he denies. Now, that, good people, is a blunt of saying this witness, or declare this witness as a hostile witness. That was when the judge now is saying you need to address me about this witness. So now, why is it important for the judge to say that?
Why?
Okay, here are a few points that I get at, which are very, very, very important. So I want you to understand that the first thing is that the state relied on witness Ubabuzu, and relied on that witness statement of Ubabuzu, and that's how the case began, right?
Yes.
And the state did not call Ubabuzu, right?
Right.
I'm breaking it down for you so that you understand.
Yes.
And then the defense called ABSALOM Zungu.
Yes.
And ABSALOM Zungu goes on to that podium and say he denies ever making such statement that arrested these people.
Yes.
Now the court, seemingly by saying you need to address me about this witness at the end, is trying to instigate this situation of trying to declare this witness hostile or adverse.
Yes.
Do you understand now?
Yes, yes.
But the court cannot declare this witness hostile. The court cannot do that. It's not the law. So as the state cannot do that because the state did not call this witness. So now they are planting the seed to who's supposed to do that?
The defense.
The defense can do that because they are the ones who call this witness. The court cannot declare a witness hostile. They can only declare a witness hostile through the person that called that witness. So now that is planting the seed. They cannot initiate it. So they can initiate the process though to say, let us remove this person. Maybe try to remove this person.
Yes.
That's what they are trying to say. Without saying it, address me about this witness. What do you think that was supposed to say? That was supposed to do? In section 192 of the CPA, a witness may be declared adverse only on one application by the party who called the witness.
In this case,
it's the defense.
Yes.
Therefore, the court cannot declare the defense witness hostile unless the defense applies for it. Do you understand? Nisi must be the one who applies for this. The state also has no right to request the defense to call the witness hostile. That's why Baloyi said what he said. That this witness was brought in by this person. Remember, as a defense, if you call someone and that person comes and does what ABSALOM Zungu, he does not support yours, you can declare that person adverse or declare that person hostile. So there are cases that support this. It's R versus Matlare, 1958. And then there's an S versus Stein of 1991. And then there's S versus Govender of 1993. All these cases, they confirm only one part who called the witness may apply for hostile status, or the judge may suggest,
and that's
but cannot enforce. That's why Ibnisi was so eager to say, yes, we'll address the court. Because you know what? We see what you are doing. We see what you want us to do, but we're not going there.
To do it.
So the state cannot rely on a statement. Now, here's the implication. Someone asked me, okay, now what happens with the fact that this statement was used to finger two people, accused one and accused number two?
Yes.
Well, now we are dealing with a separate situation now. You know, the state cannot rely in that witness if it denies the such evidence. Do you understand?
Yes.
But that is not stopping the case. That is not automatically say, oh, because this was used to. That was the process of initiating the process of the case. That is still fine. This is the most important legal point. When the defense calls a witness and the witness says, I never made the statement, then the statement becomes inadmissible as hearsay. The statement may not be used to prove guilty. The statement may not impeach the defense witness. The court may not use the statement against the accused. Now, in terms of decision making, this statement has killed that part of giving the court the power to say, because of this statement, no, now this statement is not going to be used for that.
It's free.
And those relevant authorities for that is the Law of Evidence Amendment Act of 45 of 1988, Section 3 of 1. S versus Uramavale of 1996 and S versus Ndlovu of 2002. The courts are warned not to convict based on an uncalled witness, denied statement, untested hearsay.
Which are all the elements in Absalom Zungu's statement or so-called statement.
But now the question is, what happens to the investigation that was started by this? Well, the investigation has nothing to do with this. Has zero evidential value at a trial. You know, the state relied on his allegation evidence to start the investigation, but it does not make the statement admissible.
Okay.
That is a different situation. There's a difference between evidence to start an investigation versus evidence to prove guilty in court. Police may, for example, start investigation based on a phone call or an anonymous tip or a rumor or a WhatsApp message. But none of those things are admissible as a trial evidence unless formally approved.
So you'll need concrete evidence.
So when the witness denies, when the witness denies, the foundation of the state case collapses. The state had a duty to call the witness, but they didn't. The state cannot, the statement cannot be used as evidence in this case.
Okay, that's great news.
If the court is trying to declare the witness hostile, this is improper in court.
That's great news.
It cannot happen. If the witness was called by the defense and it denies the state's allegation, alleged statement, the court declares the witness hostile against the defense wishes, it cannot do that. Allowing the state to cross-examine a defense witness on a statement they never proved, the court cannot do that. But this, in my opinion, is left hanging, because now they are saying, there is this situation that where BALOYI keeps on saying the states introduced this.
Yes.
Therefore, this, I think, is in contradiction of that part. But we will hear from the people who know law. But in my opinion, there is a loophole between this. The state cannot, the court cannot allow the state to cross-examine the defense witness on a statement they never proved. Allowing the state to use the denied statement for the truth, they cannot do that. The court cannot allow the hearsay to enter via the back door, which was what one could assume it was happening. If the court tries to do this, it violates Section 35 of the Constitution, the right to fair trial. It violates the rule against hearsay, the Law of Evidence Amendment Act, Section 3. And then the rule that a part may not contradict another party's witness without leave. And then that is Section 19 of Section 190 or 2. That is the one that we quoted above. What the defense can argue? The defense can argue against the state in many ways. They can say the state did not call this witness. That's why Mnisi was happy to say, yes, we can address the court. But the defense did. Under Section 19 of 2, only the part who calls the witness may apply for adverse status. The defense does not apply for the witness to be declared hostile. Therefore, the court may not declare him hostile. Then the statement the state relies upon is denied by its alleged maker. If it is therefore untested, hearsay, and admissible under Section 3 of the Law of Evidence Amendment Act, it cannot be used to prove any fact against the accused. Finally, the state's failure to call the material witness justify the adverse interference as it held in X versus Teixeira of 1980. The witness was found, or it was foundational to their case, and his denial destroys the version. Now, do you guys get it? Why you must address me? They don't have power. You must address me.
Yes.
So they expect Bomnisi to say this witness
is hostile.
This
Never.
witness is adverse. And Bomnisi can never do that, because then the statement remains.
Yes. Never. Why should they do that? Well, the judge said after 56 years, I'm learning new law. And Mnisi said, we'll definitely address the court. That time will definitely come, my lord. So Baloyi wanted to know where Zungu rented in Emelo as well. And Zungu said that he did not feel comfortable sharing the details of his landlord due to the agreement that the landlord made with the company that he's working for. And considering that at the mention of a name in this trial, we all know what happens, Next thing you know, they will end up like Mbeki Seni, where their name is just brought up in that court. The moment your name is mentioned, just know that it's not going to go away. So Baloyi then said, we're just asking you from where you're renting a room. And Zungu said, I was renting from the person I was renting from, who is from a mine.
A very good pickup, a quick pickup. Now, later Baloyi wants to associate accused number
5
with accused number 5 with accused number 1 in one place through the so-called phone call.
Yes.
The
And
so-called phone records. So.
Yes, of Mpumalanga situation. I have a thought on that, but I'll share it at a later stage. He said that was it in Whistleton? And Zungu said, I don't say because the owner of the room is listening, And then Baloyi said they watch the case. They know what's happening in the case. So they're listening. So Baloyi said accused number 1 cell phone records show between September and December of 2019 he was at Whistleton. Were you there? And Zungu said, where do I fit in there? Whether he was there or not, I was at my rented room where I was residing. And Baloyi then said, but during that period, were you still there? And Zungu said, yes, I was staying there. But how does it fit in this matter? Well, Baloyi said, did you know accused number 1 was in the area during this time period? And Zungu said, this is all lies now. I have no right to speak about a person's name here. I would want to say anything about a person's name. He doesn't want to say anything about a person's name. So Baloyi then said, did you see him in Emolo during that time? And Zungu said, whether I saw him or I didn't see him, I can't come here and talk about someone's name. And Baloyi said, have you ever seen him in Emelo and Whistleton? And Zungu said, I don't want to talk about people's names. Here's my theory about this whole phone situation. This time period that Advocate Baloyi is talking about, Constable Caesar Zungu was frequenting visits to his father. And his father is saying, they showed me a picture from his phone of accused number 1. So accused number 1 really needs to think long and hard. Did he ever lose his phone at any point around that time?
We don't know. Or maybe the question should be, when did this happen?
It's September to December of 2019.
Maybe the question should be, could someone have taken Zungu's phone and used it for accused number one's coordinates? That's a different story.
Because something's fishy here. Because CBI is denying. He said he's never been to Whistletown. He's adamant he's never been there. And he even said it while he was being cross-examined, that part was fabricated. So something is not right there. Something is fishy there. Something is fishy. So they could have possibly used the coordinates of Zungu's phone, who was frequenting Mpumalanga at that time. He's the one who was actually frequenting Mpumalanga, because his father is now sharing that testimony that he used to arrive unannounced in the middle of the night on a random day very frequently. 2019. So, shiga lapho. So Baloyi then said, can we accept that you don't want to answer the question? And Zungu said, I don't refuse. I don't know what you want me to say. I said I didn't want to talk about people's names. It means I will be a liar, a gossip monger. Then after the long adjournment, Baloyi went to Ntuli's NetBank account now. Baloyi denied Bab Zungu an opportunity to add on to what he was saying before they went on the lunch adjournment. Baloyi said that there will be an opportunity in re-examination by his counsel. And Baloyi said that accused number 5's NetBank account was opened on the 7th of October 2011, gave the address of 5478 Zone 14, Whistletown in Emelo. And then Zungu said, I did say that I don't know how many times I've said this. I apologize that the court should involve me in matters which are not pertaining to me. It doesn't mean that as that I worked in MLO, then I should know everything or be involved in matters that do not even involve me. He said, I apologize on the aspect because it means that should I work in Johannesburg, I will have to know everybody's business here in Johannesburg. I should be talking of other people's businesses. Well, Baloyi asked him if he knows that accused number 5 stayed in Emelo, and Zungu said he doesn't want to testify on matters that don't involve him.
Please press the like button, guys. Let's reach that 300. Please push for that 300, guys. Let's push 500 people. Yeah.
He said, we previously put it to you that accused number 1, according to the cell phone records, was in Whistletown, Emelo from September to December of 2019. Accused number 5 has also given an address of Whistletown. Are you saying that you are not able to comment? Zungu said, no, I came here for another issue. Now I am said to have worked in Emelo. Is it not a crime? Is it a crime? Is it a crime to work at Emelo? To work at Emelo, is it a crime? He said, mentioning where I stay and work will be something else. Even staying there will be something else. It cannot happen that I'm, told to look for another place because I mentioned somebody's name in court, which is fair enough, I respect his wanting to keep people out of this mess.
Because he has already put one person in this mess because of him sending that person to his son.
To go fetch his son. And now they are embroiled and their names are being mentioned in this court. It's just uncomfortable space to be in. Well, Baloyi said he just wanted the area of where he stayed. And Baloyi asked Zungu if he knew Batetelele Zungu, accused number 5's mother. Zungu said he doesn't know her, and it's not like all the Zungu people all over South Africa know each other. Come on, Advocate Baloyi. Even you, that police officer who arrested Sibia, do you know him? Are you related to him? I'm like, come on now. The question
is fishing. He's fishing. And the defense let him. I think it's okay. They've realized that anything they object to, it doesn't work, but let him tied himself with this long rope.
Well, the question for Advocate Baloyi they were not really direct, they were haphazard. The strategy is still the same: defend Gininda and tire the witness. That's the point. That's the strategy right now. Just make the witness tired and irritated. Maybe they'll give us something when they're upset. Well, Baloyi said that he's going to prove the version of Gininda, that Gininda actually called him and referred to him as Mziligazi Kamashobani, as false, as something that didn't happen. Well, Baloyi asked if he knew where Constable Zungu was stationed in 2014. Those are some of the questions, remember, I was asking yesterday. How? Advocate Baloyi is also asking them. I don't know how they would benefit him.
Closing the loopholes.
Well, Zungu said he doesn't remember, but he recalls that he was. But they have Zungu. He could have asked Zungu these questions, couldn't he have? The owner of these questions, they testified for a very long time in that court, and you didn't want to put the timeline. Did say that
he started working when he started working, I think. So, okay, fine. It does fit to the narrative that he was working as a police at the time.
Yeah, at around 2014.
Yes. It does fit. Maybe he had 1 year because they said he has been working for 14 years.
14.
Yet, that would mean he started 3 years back from 2014.
2010.
2010, yes.
2010, 2011. Well, Zungu said that he doesn't remember, but he recalls that he was working around Sebenza area, and Zungu said that he never kept it in mind. All he knows is that his son was in Gauteng at the time. Babu Zungu said that Sizo Zungu grew up in Kandla. Then his uncles and grandmother passed away, and then he relocated and he started staying, or he moved in with his aunt at Newcastle, his maternal aunt, Umamncane. And he said he never stayed in Mahlabatini full time. He would only go there to visit over the Christmas holidays as a child. And Baloyi asked, according to you, he's the same age as accused number 1. Zungu said he was not known in that area. Maybe he was known by 2 or more people. He said he wasn't known. So Zungu testified that he had been a police officer for 12 years, and Ubab Zungu said he would not dispute that.
So he started 2013 then?
Started 2013. So Baloyi asked for his cluster commander, and Zungu said that they might be a Sotho person, but normally he would mention the name of that person. And Zungu said he does not know him and he's never seen him. He also asked about Uketla's Toll, and Zungu said he did not know this
So
Toll
all this
person.
problem started with Ketla's Toll.
Baloyi continued to read Brigadier Gininda's statement. The judge made a comment about, Basotho land law when now Ubab Zungu was expressing himself. He said because Ubab Zungu was defending himself against Gininda's statement that said that he gave the statement on November 2019 while Senzo died in 2014. So ABSALOM Zungu said that they are doing this criminality acts in his name with Gininda. So the judge told Zungu that they don't answer like that. He said that he should let Baloyi finish what he says or what he said, Gininda said, then he can answer. And Mnisi said
Tables
that Baloyi...
have been turned now. It's no longer let the witness finish.
Let the witness finish.
Now it's let Baloyi finish, because it's no longer Baloyi's witnesses. So in a sense, that let the witness finish was meant for the state. Let the state finish.
Yes, it's no longer about the witness anymore. So Mnisi said that Baloyi went through 2 pages without really the witness receiving like a proper interpretation, and then he was asked to comment. He said that the process is very unfair. Well, the judge said it can be read by Mr. Mzungu himself again, because he is told that he is literate in English.
Who told him?
then he can respond in either English or isiZulu.
Who told him?
I don't know.
Who's his informant? Or they are moving
As a Constable
Guinean.
Zungu. As a Constable
Or they are
Sizwe
in
there by
charge
the
with
safe
Zoo.
house.
We,
they talking?
We did pick up that the father has a royal, studied the royal, maybe he knows few things in English. But is his right to be responded
Testify
to
in
be
isiZulu.
in what he wants to.
Yes, a language he feels comfortable in.
Yes. Let's press the like button, guys, please. Let us press the like button. So it's neither here or there that you can speak English. It's not a sin. If he can hear you throwing the jabs, it's okay.
Well, the judge asked him if he can hear English. Zungu said, Singenapi. Singenapi slung. Where does it end? Well, the judge said that Singena ngobo yasizwa, meaning that it enters because you can hear it. Nami yasizwa isiZulu. He can also hear isiZulu. Manje siyangena. And that's how it enters.
Now we are Zulu. So what are we supposed to do with that?
I don't know. Well, Baloyi said he will print that statement and give it to Babu Zungu for him to read as homework overnight. Court then adjourned. But then, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what happened.
Yeah, guys. Let's take 2 calls.
Okay.
While we press the like button, that's the reason actually. I'm waiting for the like buttons to click that 300. Let's take 2 calls, short calls, guys. Don't be brief. Just get into the story. See where we can. If you don't know the number, it's 071 15300. No, I'm getting it wrong. Now I'm giving wrong numbers. It's 071 153 7006. That's the number for WhatsApp and for calls. Yes. Mzansi, hello. Okay. Look at me. Mzansi, hello. Siko wanunjani futhi?
Yaphila nami.
Yes.
Emily kunjani?
Siyaphila njani?
Yaphila nami. Hey. Hayi siyabonga. Nisizamile ukhathalekile.
Hey, kukhathalekile. Yo. Ubaloyi. Uyadila namhle.
Ubaba uZungu.
Yebo.
Unyama kayishi. Ishanga babebhezeli. Iqala liphelile.
Yebo.
Ungaze ubone nje lejaji ukuthi hayi iqala liphelile.
Yebo.
Ngoba konke lokhu kwatholakala kuyi. Manje ula ukuthi hayi angazange lento mina.
Yebo.
Hayi iyadida lento. Ubaloyi insista uthi choose number 1 kwatholakala amacala true babuzungu. Uthi babuzungu angiyazi. Zange sathetha into ivanayo apha.
No.
Yesterday bazamile ukubuza ngozungu ukuthi uhlukene phi kwenzakalani. Wathi ubaloyi no. Apho makungathestwa i-character yomuntu makukhulunywa ngecala. Ubuziwe ukuthi bahlangana apho usuka apho ubani uJunior Zungu ufunde kuphi yonke lento ubaloyi azangavuma. I think the second witness, it can be Mbekiseni.
Yeah.
Asho Mbekiseni hayi ndandimlandile lo baba. Efike ebusuku akho nto sake sayikhuluma. Kona nje no judge uyabona nje ukuthi hayi la even if angafoster naye le ndaba yakhe ired le izawuchange one day agqoke ezi-orange because wonke umuntu ubheke kuleli cala. Ubaba uZungu batshele straight wathi le court niqala la manje akwenza corruption iqala kanje. Ngiyabonga Musana, ngiyabonga Yabona manje nawe utsho wavela ukuthi ilaw uyenzile. Ukulalele namhlanje. Sathi ungavuma ukuthi hayi ilaw uyazi. Manje sewuyayazi nawe.
Ngiyazi. I can say it. Yafalo. Still over you call. See another perspective. Zansi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Germany.
Hi, how are you, sir?
Guys, thanks for putting up the time. I know it's late, so I'll be quick.
Yes.
Two things. I thought Mr. Arno, when Mr. Ramsopiri was cross-exam, was trying to re-examine or take him through Babzungu, the judge said, this witness said, Akash loot. He doesn't know anything about him. But why is Baloyi now spending 2 days to cross-examine a guy who knows nothing about?
Good question.
Good question.
Very good question.
Yeah, because he didn't want Mr. Ramsopiri to waste time. He said, this guy said he knows nothing. So I'm saying, if this guy knows nothing, why is Baloyi now asking him about music? And thanks to Bab Zulu to answering those questions about beer. Because I think beer was staying in Mpumalanga. It's not like one street. It's a town, eh?
Yes.
So even if beer was staying there, how would I know? And now they you know, eh? And then the guy had already said, I don't know this Nkani guy. I don't know it. He already said so. But the judge is sleeping there. I don't know what he wants to hear. Because the guy, he said, I only know one, accused one and accused two. Only. The other three guys, I don't know them. Now he's saying, do you know the parents? Do you know? And then I said, Mr. Prosecutor, where are we going with this? Because really, he's not tiring Zungu only. He's even tiring us. Because he's not going to get anything.
Yeah.
He's not getting anything from Zungu. And then before I go, just the last point. The ID is not correct on that statement.
Yes.
The address is not correct on that statement. The signature is not correct on that statement. I know they will say the evidence, yes, he was saying the evidence was yes. Mate, the moral of the story of this witness is never that the evidence is yet to say is yes or not. The moral of the story is the investigating officer who said he sat down and took a statement from this guy never happened. That is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm not insulting Mr. Babzungu in any way. But when Brigadier says the guy gave me the statement in English, no. That is never going to happen. Man.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not insulting Babzungu, but I'm just saying,
no, that will
sitting
never
down
happen. No.
to put in an English statement, it was not going to happen. But you know why, Mr. Ano, he said he took it in English. If there was an interpreter, there was supposed to be some certification to say this guy was the interpreter who was interpreting, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So he didn't have it. That's why he said the statement was done in English.
And Rata is forcing that through the back doors.
Yes. That's what he's trying to do.
Allegedly.
But, all good. Thank you. Yeah. Sure. Bye.
Sure. Zansi, hello. Yeah.
Into engihlekisayo ile ukuthi language isikhombiso kanjani ukuthi abantu abayile esikoleni bafolda some element of ukuhlakanipha.
Yeah.
And njengoba ngizokuzwa in my head i-testimony of GININDA on how he ascertained ukuthi there is a link between these guys and what happened kwaKhumalo was coming from Baba Uzungu. Just as with that sense past where the defense should have played as the best way, but if I was in a sense, I would have came with a loudspeaker and make the court and the double zungu alalele the exact way. This is what GININDA
said.
Or inference, which these guys need to be charged. So, ubaba lona uphithizwa ile nto ekanjena kwaZulu where kumele iqiniso kanti kudoda bakho kumele. And there's one thing some time without being actually working a travelist. But one thing lessons started ingeze ngiyiculture ngoba ngoba asiyame eqinisweni. Yamanje eqinisweni ukumuntu kwaZulu lento ezoba buhlungu ukuthi uma ukukhombisa futhi ukuthi uyizungu wena bona lapha umile ngobudoda bakho ukuthi hayi kumazini mina ngeke ukufuza amanga okanye ukusuppressa i-sport or ukusuppressa abantu abaziona ukuthi bafundile. Muhle bafuthi umsebenzini. I mean, I think akekho umuntu come closer to you angelele nje manje sebenziseni and go to work. Ngize ngisho ukuthi yini ngiyihlalele ngoba ngilalelile icaleni. One has no choice. Thank you. I have to listen to this. Ngikhathele zokuba angazi ukuthi ngihlaleleni. But wonke into engiyikhulumala umuntu uyilalele, but you have your way of breaking down this. But you've listened to the case. Because listen, ngihlaleleni manje, but I have to every day wanted to wake up and listen to it. I do this first thing.
Sebo, cool. Oh, hey, Agiti, hook up here today. Thank you very much. Let's press the like button, guys. We are not far from this 300 and something. Come on, guys. Let's press the like button. Let us push. Sibonga cool, guys. Everyone who was here. Senzo 18, thank you for pushing the likes, and Tozi Senlang Siyabonga for pushing the likes, and everyone else who kept on pushing everyone to press the like button. Guys, do press the like button. It's never enough. If you have 2 gadgets, use them. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Everyone who was here, Gigi, the creator, thank you. Noma Mfunega, Gigi,
the creator.
Gigi, the creator. Sorry. Gigi. Musawenkosi siyabonga. Sizwe 18, and thank you very much again to Senlanga. Thank you. Siyabonga Laura. Siyabonga Nginbiza from the head. Dido West. Siyabonga. Sma Mukwena. Siyabonga. Baning only Vimek. Siyabonga. Lindiwe sibonge ku ubani hlawulekani. Thank you, siyabonga hlawulekani. Sizobonga nje kinonke guys. Xolani Xoli Muhwanqana siyabonga. Sibonge nje kubo bonke abantu, akekho simshiya ngaphandle. Sibonga kinonke kanza wethu. Press the like button. Katleho po, thank you, siyabonga. Pinky Ndlovu Sbong Pink, and the question we saw it, perhaps that's the reason why I answered to that details. The question that you wanted clarity on, so I had to go deeper. Sibanda Skathele siyabonga. Sibambe lokugcina Mzansi, hello. Sibanda Skathele siyabonga. Asilungise lapho Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, and you anonymous.
Yes, sir.
And Emily Mona.
Yebo.
Njani. Siyaphila nenjani?
Siyaphila.
Number 1. Ngicela ukubuza lapha. Mara siyawina kahle kahle angazi ukuthi
yeah, kuyawineka.
Yeah,
kuyawineka.
No wineka siyajabula because mina angisatholi man. Somewhere you are confused.
Hayi
You're not alone.
no kuyawineka uyabona ungabona ubuso uyazi ukuthi wobukani ukuthi kuyawineka ubuka ubuso buka gogo ugogo Kelly then that will tell you ukuthi what is going on
yeah no abaphumela abafana bathola amabiliyoni wabo man hey le South Africa bana ibolile man ane ngibeka abantu similar situation no that's why hey I comment namanje angicomment ningathi njani stop lo comment ngiyamamela kuphela
awu siyabonga kodwa ke phela qhubeka aba comment naye ayiphusha kahle le content yethu sibonge nje kuwe nina nange ukuparticipate kweni we appreciate you guys
no I'm just trying to say no reason like that really similar thing and the government nambi sekubona ke limtanzi number 2
hayibo
so I'm telling you but luckily okay everything is flushed out ifedile cases closed to everyone but I'm just waiting for next year just to see what we get by what ngiyako grand legal advice
no Pepe
that's why I'm not gonna comment because but I don't know who's doing this
like
the same come on it's the same similar thing
bambi pokoza yenza ipokoza mfowethu ipokoza liyasiza masekunje ungamsafaka amagama akhe ipokoza nje le account ozoqhubeka uqhushalazela ngayo
okay no kuyaleboa anonymous and uSemili alebele libusuku yomunati man
thank you thank you
yeah
and all the best
Fight man. Ilaphi indaba. Sibonge guys. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye
guys.